Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Chris Stanfield with Major Indie Magazine, and today I'm here to tell y'all about how to get sponsors. All right, so you want to try to figure out how do you get sponsors, right? All right, so one of the things that you can do is bring value to the marketplace, okay? So you want to ask yourself, how many people's problems can you solve? And that's the big question. How many people's problems can you solve? A lot of people get out here and they try to chase money around, but all you got to really do is figure out who has the most problems and how many of those people can you target with your particular company or your niche and solve those problems. The more people's problems you can solve within your line of work, then the better off you are. All right, so another thing that you want to do is build your brand and become a big influencer in your market, okay? You want to spend more time producing great material that'll help you to get noticed. I can't stress it enough. Quality, quality, quality. Quality and consistency. That's with anything. I don't care what your niche is, what your company is, what your product is, what your service is. It's all about quality and consistency. Okay, so you got to consistently put that quality material out there, okay? And it ain't about, shooting in your backyard. I mean, sometimes everybody don't have the same situation where you have access to all of the technology and stuff like that, but make it presentable, make it professional. You out here trying to get sponsorship from these big professional companies, so you have to fit the bill. So the more people that notice you for your quality and your consistency, then the greater your situation will be, okay? So that's something that you can also use as a highlight, which we'll talk about that later on. You can use that as a highlight to show your sponsors or potential sponsors like, hey, this is what I'm doing over here. I'm putting out great quality work or products or services, and I'm building my brand, and this is why you should work with me. Okay, so another thing you want to look at is building a strong social media following. And in today's world, you ain't got no choice. You're trying to build a brand, you're trying to build a product, you're trying to get sponsorships and get people to notice you. You got to do social media. A lot of people don't even realize there are over, that I personally know, I know that there are over 50 different social media platforms. And I know we use the typical ones. You might have 4 different mainstream platforms that you might use, but what about all of the other ones out there? So social media means a lot. I'm gonna put y'all on to some game, okay? Real quick. It's called onlywire.com, ONLYWIRE.com. Onlywire.com allows you to get a free account set up. All you got to do is register. It only take you about 5 minutes to register with them. You go on onlywire.com and you fill out you create all of these social media platforms, and then all you got to do is basically post whatever you got to post one time, and it shoots out that message or that video or those photos or whatever it is that you're trying to put out to all of those social media platforms that you got attached. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say they give you up to 50 platforms for absolutely free. Now they got paid advertisement and all that other stuff too, if you want more accounts, but 50 free accounts, come on, man, like that's all you really need. So y'all keep that in mind too when it come down to flooding the market with your social media presence. So what'll happen is you'll get a chance to get out here and save a lot of time and flood the market and flood all of these different social media platforms and grow and build your fan base a whole lot quicker. And then that way you can combine all of those accounts and stuff for more fans and likes and comments and stuff like that you could take to your sponsors to show them, hey, look, these are my numbers. This is what I'm looking like. And this is the type of activity that I have going on with my particular niche. All right, so another thing is you want to demonstrate that you have a targeted audience and following that the intended sponsor wants to reach, okay? And this is very, very important because, say for instance, if you're a chef, all right? So if you're a chef, you might not want to be looking at, say, getting sponsorships from a car dealership. Like, okay, I can't really put the two together, you know what I'm saying, unless you're cooking something out of the trunk. And if you're doing that, you're probably doing something illegal. So that's a no-go. Make sure that whatever it is or whoever it is that you're looking for to sponsor your particular brand or your event or whatever you have going on, make sure that they fall in line with what you're doing, okay? For instance, if you're a model, target clothing companies, cosmetic brands and stuff like that. Okay, so make sure that you target the sponsors that are already in your line of work, or that are even moving into your line of work or your field of work. All right, so y'all remember I talked about the highlights earlier, right? Okay, so we're gonna get back to the highlights. All right, so what you want to do is put together and present an outline that highlights all of your strengths of yourself and or your company. Okay, so this is very important because you want to show your sponsors where your strengths are, how strong you are in this particular market or area. Okay, and that just basically gives you justification for asking for whatever it is that you need for that particular sponsor. All right, so now back to social media. Now, you want to start engaging with potential sponsors on social media platforms like LinkedIn, for instance. So it not only gives you an opportunity to research the company, but now you get a chance to research the people within the company, the people that you're trying to reach out to for the sponsorships, right? All right, so what happens with this particular situation is you get a chance to not only research the company, you know, the company's mission, where they came from, where they're looking to go, but you also get a chance to research the key players that you're looking for. Okay, what do they like? What are their interests? You know, and then you start going back and forth with them a little bit. You know, don't be forceful or nothing like that. Hey, I need a sponsorship like today. No, come on, man. Like, you got to build that relationship, and it's all about relationships. You want to make sure that you start liking that stuff or commenting on that stuff and making sure it's sincere. Don't just be doing stuff to try to figure out what you can get out of it, because it's not going to feel organic. They're going to know that you're trying to get something out of them, and they're going to just cut you before you get a chance to really present your case. All right, now you also want to explain to the potential sponsor what makes you so different from everybody else. All right, what makes you so different? Why you? Why should they get a sponsorship to you? Okay. So then you gotta, that's why I was telling you earlier, you gotta have your outline together and all that other stuff. If I was you, I would create like an elevator pitch. You know, create an elevator pitch where it's not taking up a whole bunch of people's time. And in that way, if you ever get a chance to rub elbows with some of these people, you know, in real time or whatever, rather than just communicating with them on social media or via email or something like that, you actually can present your whole situation, what it is that you're trying to do, what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you can provide in return, because it's give and take. You got to keep that balance. It's give and take. It's not all about gimme, gimme, gimme. So put together your elevator pitch that'll allow you to present what it is that you have to offer to them as well. Which brings me to the next point. All right. So you want to offer a valuable free service in exchange for the use of a sponsor's logo. See, it's not all about money all the time. Sometimes you got to realize, okay, what can I get? You know, you start with a little something, and then you work your way into the situation. And then before you know it, bam, you got the logo, you got the support, you got the finances. You might even get a venue from some of these sponsors, depending on who it is that you're reaching out to. All right. So what you want to do is tell them, like, hey, for instance, if you were a graphic designer, like, hey, man, if I could use y'all logo, I'll do some free graphic designs for y'all, or I'll do some free flyers or something like that for y'all over the next, you know, week or 2 weeks or whatever, or I'll do so many projects for you, you know, if you could just let me use your logo, because the logo itself brings a lot of power to your situation. Say, for instance, if I'm working with, if I'm reaching out to Coca-Cola, if I get a Coca-Cola logo on my step and repeat or my billboard or my website or something like that, people gonna look like, oh man, Coca-Cola, a strong brand. So Coca-Cola dealing with this person over here, let me go and buy their product. Let me go and check out their event. Let me buy these tickets or whatever. If Coca-Cola fooling with them, get what I'm saying? So there is a lot of bargaining power in the logo. It's not all about money and clothes and products and stuff like that all the time. Go for that logo. All right, now this is an important one right here. And I know a lot of people might be struggling with this, but you gotta figure out how to do it. You gotta work your way up to this point. Rome wasn't built overnight, but you need to be able to eventually demonstrate how you have engaged followers, okay, that you can get to respond to your call of action. Well, what does that mean? All right, that means if I say, hey, I'm going to such and such club tonight, y'all come out and pop bottles with me, then okay, boom, you got all of these followers and fans and friends that are going to respond and say, yeah, I'll be there, and actually show up. You get what I'm saying? Meaning they're actually engaging with you and they're participating with whatever it is that you got going on. It's like a movement. So start getting in the habit of doing that. Call to action, whatever it is that you, hey, if you just say, hey, I want, y'all at least give me 10 likes on this particular segment, this particular video, that's a call to action. It don't have to be nothing big. It could be something just as simple as leave comments, and you get a lot of people leaving comments, and then you can show to your potential sponsor like, hey, these people are actually interacting with me. They're into what I'm doing. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. All right, so last but not least, you want to make sure that you seek long-term relationships and talk to that potential sponsor up front and let them know that's what you're looking for. And we're not talking about quantity. It's not saying that, hey, I want to work with y'all every single month. I mean, if that's what you're shooting for, then so be it. It could be a situation where you got a sponsor per year. This particular sponsor works with you on this particular event once a year, and that could be very impactful. And also, as you bring in sponsors, then that also helps you to attract more sponsors. All right, and that's a lot of things that people don't take into consideration too. So you got to use the power of the sponsorship in order to get more sponsors, and it might not even be for that particular event. It could be for another event that you got planned or set up, or another situation that you need products or services or branding from. Okay, but you do have to be very careful when it comes to that. Also, that's why you got to research your companies, research the people within the companies. Okay, you don't want to try to put two rivals together in sponsorship with your event. It's not going to turn out right. Matter of fact, once they get wind that their competition is in a situation, you might have both of them pull out. So be very careful. But the goal is to seek long-term relationships. All right, y'all. So that wraps it up on how to get sponsors. Make sure that you tune in every week. I'm gonna be doing these videos on a weekly basis. Man, I really need y'all to go ahead and if you like the material, hit the like button. If you got something that didn't rub you the right way, or you got more questions, hit the comment section. Whatever it is that you want to say, I really need y'all input in order to keep moving with these videos. If y'all got any ideas for some new videos, make sure you put it in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to check this out real quick. So at the end of every tutorial that I do, I'm going to present independent artist, okay, or independent entertainer, period. So it could be a model, it could be an author, it could be a singer, it could be a comedian, whatever. But I'm gonna have somebody to kind of do a little snippet or showcase of what they doing, what they working with. So on this particular video for how to get sponsors, I got my guy Rico coming in, and he working with a song called Ayo. So Chris Stanfield signing out for Major Indie. Y'all dare to be major.
Oh, it's your boy Rico Suave. Check out my new single Ayo on all platforms. Shout out to Major Indie Magazines. Let's get it. Yeah. Rico. I get up. Pull up, hop out, clean. Bitch, moonwalking Billie Jean. Keep a few thousand in my chain. Yeah, I get money. Bitch, I'm stunning, start that front. It ain't nothing good to bustin'. Ain't no question, no discussion. Yeah, we just rushin'. Came from the motherfucking back end. Never ever slacking. Nah, remember no day we were trapping. Paranoid swerving through traffic. Nah, never ever thought I'm in a rapping. But it's somewhere I made it happen. Keep shit real, no capping. Say to my band, no cashing. I'm so high, straight out the middle. Talking straight cash, no time for visa. I went down bad, can I repeat it? Y'all keep your eye, can I repeat it? Pulling your fish, they remind me fiendin'. Dreams I'm achieving, Bitch shining just like Ayo. Shooters take you off if I say so. Easter pink sipping in my Fago. All the young niggas know it's peso. Money keep calling my phone, tell the hoe leave me alone. Money keep calling my phone, so the whole leave me alone, yeah. Hey, bitch, shining just like ayo. Shooters take you off if I say so, yeah. My nigga ballin', not on the bleachers. Stop at the top, pay for features. Pushing me one, what's like to meet you? I am so high that I can't even see you. Pink and ring covered in gold. Nigga check my wrist on froze. Get money all I know. My head bitch say that a nigga wouldn't make it. Shut the fuck up, bitch, cause you hate it. Yeah, to talk good, but what you making? I keep up with Shawty cause she basic. Bitch shining just like ayo. Shooters take you off if I say so. Easter pink sipping in my face. All of y'all niggas know it's paid. So money keep calling my phone, so the whole leave me alone. Money keep calling my phone, so the whole leave me alone. Yeah, bitch shining just like ayo. Shooters take you off if I say so. Yeah. Shooters, Rico. Yeah.